The capital of Earth's greatest superpower now resembled a colossal graveyard of concrete and steel. The iconic white dome of the United States Capitol had been torn in half, exposing a charred iron framework that looked like the ribcage of a leviathan. Red dust and thick black smoke spiraled around the Washington Monument, turning the soaring white obelisk into a grim, dark tombstone against the twilight sky. The chaotic sounds of air raid sirens had long since ceased, replaced by the ear-splitting sonic booms of divine combat. The civilians were gone, evacuated or hiding deep underground, leaving the surface to the gods of destruction. In the center of the National Mall, where lush green grass once stretched from the Capitol to the White House, a massive crater now scarred the earth. Standing in the epicenter of this devastation was Jiren. He hovered silently over the murky waters of the Lincoln Memorial reflecting pool. The water, usually a mirror of peace, was now boiling, bubbling from the sheer heat of his latent ki. Jiren looked down at two figures struggling to rise from the rubble of the Lincoln Memorial. The statue of President Lincoln behind them was shattered, leaving only half a stone face staring blankly at the catastrophe. Goku and Vegeta gasped for air. Their breathing was ragged, mixing with the metallic scent of blood. "Is this the power that protects Earth?" Jiren's voice boomed, echoing off the ruined federal buildings with crushing pressure. "You let this city fall, all to buy yourselves a few minutes of agonizing defeat." Vegeta stumbled to his feet, clutching his broken left arm. Blood streamed from his forehead, obscuring one eye. He looked around. The sea was obliterated, human pride trampled under the boots of an outsider. But what twisted his gut wasn't the destruction. He glanced to his side. Kakarot, that idiot, was kneeling on one knee, propping himself up on shards of marble. Despite his injuries, despite his ki running dry, a stubborn, unyielding fire still burned in Goku's black eyes. He never knew when to quit. "Why?" a voice screamed inside Vegeta's head. "Why? Even when we are both pathetic? Do you still look like a man who sees a path to victory? While I only see my own powerlessness, jealousy, a dark, viscous emotion Vegeta thought he had buried long ago, surged violently amidst the ashes of the American Capitol. It wasn't hot like fire. It was cold, sharp, and it stabbed straight into the Saiyan Prince's pride. "Where are you looking?" Jiren, Vegeta growled, stepping in front of Goku. "Your opponent is me." Jiren glanced at Vegeta, his gaze like a giant looking at an ant trying to bite his heel. "You have reached your limit." "Vegeta, lie down." "Limit? Don't make me laugh." Vegeta threw his head back and let out a soul-tearing roar. The entire district shook. The water in the reflecting pool detonated, shooting hundreds of meters into the air. Debris from the Lincoln Memorial began to float, then disintegrated into fine dust under the crushing pressure of Vegeta's rising energy. "Kakarot has ultra instinct. He follows the path of angels. But I am the prince of all Saiyans. I will forge my own path." A pillar of dark indigo light erupted, swallowing Vegeta. It wasn't the bright cyan of standard Super Saiyan blue. It was dense, heavy, the color of the abyss. Purple streaks of lightning, Hakai, destruction, energy crackled across his body, tearing black rifts in the space around him. When the light settled, Vegeta was revealed. His muscles had bulged, veins popping like tree roots of steel. His spiky blue hair had darkened to a deep royal blue, almost black. But most terrifying were his eyes. The pupils were gone, leaving only irises of manic, glowing emerald. Super Saiyan blue. Royal Berserk. "I will show you the difference between a genius and trash." Vegeta vanished. The ground beneath him exploded, leaving a crater on the steps of the memorial. In a nanosecond, he reappeared directly in front of Jiren. Vegeta's fist, wrapped in destruction energy, slammed into Jiren's face. The punch was so powerful that the air compressed and detonated, creating a shockwave that flattened the cherry blossom trees along the tidal basin a kilometer away. Jiren was pushed back. For the first time, his boots skidded across the water. Vegeta attacked with feral madness. He abandoned defense. Every punch, every kick was a sacrificial move, trading blood for damage. He grabbed Jiren, hurling him violently into the Washington Monument. The iconic obelisk snapped in half, collapsing in a cloud of dust that choked the sky. Vegeta flew high above, cupping his hands. A massive sphere of dark purple energy formed, swirling like a miniature dying sun, illuminating the ruined city. Final flash. Extinction. The beam fired downward, swallowing Jiren and the entire National Mall in a sea of violet fire. Vegeta panted, his chest heaving as if it might burst. He looked down, his eyes wide with mania and exhaustion. "I did it, Kakarot. Do you see? I am stronger." The smirk on Vegeta's face vanished. From within the smoke and chaotic energy, a hand reached out, waving the blast away as if swatting a fly. Jiren stepped out. His Pride Trooper uniform was shredded, revealing a gray torso without a single scratch. "Is that all?" Jiren asked, his voice ice cold, power born from jealousy is impure. Jiren vanished. He reappeared directly behind Vegeta, hovering in the deep sea sky. You are too loud. A simple double-axe handle strike slammed into the center of Vegeta's back. The sound of his spine cracking was dry and sickening. Vegeta coughed up fresh blood, his eyes bulging. His body fell from the sky like a meteor, crashing into the south lawn of the White House, creating a deep, dark crater. Vegeta lay there, motionless. The royal berserk aura vanished. In his delirium, he could still see Goku's silhouette. The jealousy turned into bitter humiliation. I lost again. I lost before he even made his move. Goku witnessed it all. He stood up, his legs trembling on the broken stone steps. Jiren, Goku whispered. He closed his eyes. He wanted to be angry. He wanted to scream and turn Super Saiyan to avenge Vegeta. But he knew anger was useless now. Ultra Instinct, sign, required tranquility, but his energy was drained. His body was empty. But in that emptiness, Goku felt something else. Even though Washington, D.C. was devastated, even though concrete and steel crushed the earth, life remained. He heard the Potomac River murmuring as it flowed, washing away the debris of war. He heard the roots of the thousands of cherry trees around the tidal basin, groaning under the heat but refusing to let go of the soil. He felt the breath of the Atlantic Ocean carried on the wind. The Genki Dama principle, not borrowing, but becoming one. Don't try to control the flow, Goku muttered Whis' teachings. Become the flow. Goku opened his chest. He didn't power up. He relaxed. He let go. From the cracks in the charred asphalt, tiny specks of green light began to rise. It was the life force of the grass, the soil, the river. They didn't gather into a ball. They permeated Goku's very cells. Jiren, descending from the sky to finish Vegeta, paused. He felt the ground tremble. Not a violent shake, but a rhythmic thrumming, like a heartbeat. A pillar of emerald green light erupted from Goku's position, pushing back the smoke of war. The green light spread outward. Miraculously, atop the gray ruins, fresh grass began to sprout at an impossible speed. The broken cherry blossom stumps suddenly shot up, blooming with vibrant, unseasonal pink flowers. The zone of death was instantly transformed into a radiant primeval forest. From within the pillar of light, Goku stepped out. His spiky black hair was coated in an emerald aura that shimmered like fairy dust. His eyes had turned a deep turquoise, calm and still like an ancient lake. Vines of pure energy wove across his body, stitching his wounds shut. Ultra Instinct, Gaia breath of earth. This power. Jiren frowned. It isn't sharp. It is soft. Goku didn't answer. He stepped onto the air, where his foot landed. A lotus of light bloomed. Jiren charged, throwing a punch capable of shattering a planet. Goku didn't block. He swayed. His movement was as soft as a leaf in the wind, riding the air current created by Jiren's fist. Goku appeared at Jiren's side. He placed a palm gently on Jiren's chest. Gong! A bell-like sound resonated from within Jiren's chest. A massive impulse shockwave exploded, ignoring his outer durability and rattling his internal organs. Erg! Jiren spat saliva. Goku waved his hands. Green streams of ki rose from the ground, transforming into thousands of massive energy vines, wrapping tight around Jiren's limbs. You think these roots can hold me? Jiren roared, flexing to break free. But strangely, the vines didn't snap. They were elastic, bending with Jiren's force, absorbing his kinetic energy to grow stronger. Your power is destruction, Goku spoke. His voice no longer the battle-hungry Saiyan, but deep and authoritative, like a guardian of the forest. This is life. The more you destroy, the more life fights to fill the void. Goku delivered a roundhouse kick. Vines from his leg morphed into a massive spectral tree trunk, whipping Jiren straight into the ruins of the White House. The symbol of power collapsed completely, burying the warrior of justice under tons of rubble. Vegeta cracked an eye open. Green grass was growing towards him, healing his minor cuts. Kakarot, have you evolved again? What is it this time? Are you the god of these damn weeds now? The jealousy remained, but now it was mixed with fear. Fear of Goku's infinite potential. A terrifying silence fell over the White House ruins. The pile of rubble began to vibrate. Then it was blasted away. Jiren stood there, but he had changed. The familiar red aura was gone. In its place, the temperature in Washington, D.C. plummeted. Moisture in the air froze instantly, falling as diamond dust. The rushing Potomac River stopped dead, turning into a massive glacier in the blink of an eye. The blooming cherry blossoms froze solid, their petals shattering like glass. Jiren stepped forward. His aura was a blinding white cold. Dead. Absolute. A thin layer of ice coated his body like crystal armor. Jiren, Form 1. Absolute zero life. Jiren scoffed, a twisted smile of contempt forming Life is a mistake of the universe. It is chaotic, weak, and dependent. But the cold is order. It is eternal. He raised one finger. I only need to remove the heat. All life ends, including this borrowed instinct of yours. Goku felt a bone-chilling cold pierce his Gaia aura. He frowned and lunged. The energy vines lashed out at Jiren, but the moment they touched Jiren's white aura, the vines froze, turned gray, and shattered into dust. Impossible, Goku gasped. All atomic movement ceases before me. Jiren vanished. No, he didn't move fast. He seemed to erase the distance by freezing the space-time between them. He appeared in front of Goku before Goku could even blink. Sleep. Warrior of Earth. Jiren lashed out with a kick. His right leg was encased in a jagged axe of ice, radiating at temperature millions of degrees below zero. Frozen impact. Goku raised both arms to block, trusting his instinct. It was futile. The moment Jiren's shin touched Goku's forearms, the cold transferred faster than neural signals. Goku's arms froze. Goku's chest froze. The emerald aura flickered, then extinguished like a candle doused in liquid nitrogen. Goku was kicked backward, flying across the National Mall and slamming into the base of the broken Washington Monument. He didn't fall. He stuck there, because his entire body was now sealed inside a block of permafrost a meter thick. Goku, Gaia, the hope of life, was now a beautiful, tragic ice sculpture, his eyes wide in shock, forever staring at the gray sky of the capital. Vegeta lay paralyzed. The cold reached him, making him shiver violently. Kakarot was completely defeated, turned into a decoration in that monster's collection. Jiren touched down. He didn't even look at Goku. He walked across the frozen surface of the reflecting pool, heading toward the underground bunker beneath the White House wreckage, where the strongest energy signal was pulsing. He waved his hand, slicing through 10 meters of earth and reinforced concrete, revealing a secret chamber. On a pedestal of titanium alloy, the Omega Energy Core hovered. It pulsed with a chaotic red and black light, malevolent and wild, in stark contrast to the silent ice outside. Jiren stepped forward and ripped the core from its mount. Dark electricity arced up his arm, but he crushed it, subduing it with his absolute power. He walked out of the bunker, standing atop the highest pile of rubble in DC, holding the Omega Core aloft. Behind him was the frozen statue of Goku and the broken body of Vegeta. Around him was a magnificent capital turned into icy ruins. Justice does not require life to bloom, Jiren declared, his voice broadcasting across the planet. Justice is an eternal glacier, cold, unmoving. He looked at the red-black gem in his hand, ambition flaring in his eyes. And with this, I will freeze the order of the multiverse. The screen fades to black, leaving only the sound of the wind howling through the dead skyscrapers of Washington. Goku is frozen solid. Vegeta is down. Washington drowns in the hopeless cold of absolute zero. Is this the final curtain for mankind? Hold on. Don't take your eyes off the screen. The true nightmare begins now as Jiren is about to devour the Omega Core and become a demon god. Now that the main heavy hitters are down, who will take the lead? Gotenks with his lightning power? Or the crazy combination of Gohan's mind and Broly's brute force? Episode 4 will be an explosive, must-watch battle where the side characters finally step up to save the day. Do they have the strength to break the eternal ice? Let's wait and see.